Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Updates. Coming up on today's show, Astra fails to reach orbit again, SpaceX FAA review is finally done, kind of, plus more SpaceX updates with CivilianSpace. Let's get started. So launch updates this week, 3 launches from SpaceX at the weekend. On Friday the 17th, we got Starlink, and that's Flight 13 for B1060, landing on autonomous spaceport drone ship. And then on Saturday the 18th, we got Sarah and ride shares on a mysterious booster so far. Then on Sunday the 19th, we got Globestar 2 and other satellites launching on there's a SpaceX Falcon 9. Then a bit further ahead on Wednesday the 22nd, we've got Arianespace and their Ariane 5 launching MEASAT 3D and GSAT 24. And we'll hopefully be covering some of those SpaceX launches this weekend, so make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So first up, Astra's 3.3 rocket lifted off from the Space Launch Complex 46 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida just the other day. Liftoff took place near the end of the long 2-hour window that opened at 12 PM local time, after an initial launch attempt was stopped less than 2 minutes before an issue with the vehicle's liquid oxygen propellant. The launch initially went really well, the first stage firing for 3 minutes, followed by engine shutdown, deployment of the payload fairing, and stage separation. The upper stage engine ignited for a burn intended for 5 minutes and 15 seconds. However, 4 minutes into that burn, the video from the rocket briefly showed a plume from the engine, after which the vehicle appeared to tumble. The planned time for the engine shutdown and deployment of the rocket's payload of the 2 NASA Tropics CubeSats passed in silence. Shortly after the launch, Astra confirmed over on Twitter, "We've had a nominal first stage flight. The upper stage shut down early and we did not deliver the payload to orbit. We've shared our regrets with NASA and the payload team. More information will be provided when we complete a full data review." Overall, Astra's failed 7 out of its 9 launches to date. Yes, they're still learning and fine-tuning their vehicle, but the question for NASA is, where do they go from here? Astra was scheduled to launch the remaining 4 Tropics CubeSats on 2 other launches with Astra, but surely that will have to be put on hold or potentially transferred to another launch provider. Hopefully Astra will have a fix real soon. Best of luck to all the Astra team and the next launch. Now, over to Jack the Lad for this week's SpaceX Updates.
Hello everyone and welcome to CivilianSpace Updates. My name is Jack, and on today's episode we're going to go over Booster 7 receives all its engines, Ship 24 returns to the production site, and the Starbase environmental assessment nears completion. Let's get right to it. Seen on your screen here, Booster 7 is finished with engine integration. This has taken a few weeks. It still has to receive some shielding, but the big part of the process of engine integration is already done. This is a massive step for the orbital launch, and we should see Booster 7 back in the pad soon to do some static fires and some hot fire tests of those 33 Raptor engines. We will most likely will see a few Raptor engines have some problems. Those will likely get replaced, but this should not be a massive time-consuming process. So that is it for Booster 7. Let's move to Ship 24. 4 has completed all tests necessary during this part of the prototype testing. It has completed some cryo tests and some thrust ram testing. We have now seen Ship 24 roll back to the production site where the 6 engines will get integrated. That is 3 normal Raptor engines and 3 vacuum engines. Those vacuum engines will propel that Starship prototype right into an orbital velocity. We should see this ship come back to a test pad soon to do maybe another cryo test with the engines installed, and also do some hot fire and static fire tests. It's been a long time since we've seen a static fire test, but this should go seamlessly. We've done some propellant loading on those pads in recent days and weeks, and we should see that kind of test soon. So let's fire on. The FAA has had its say after delay after delay. It's a mitigated FONSI. Am I a poet? I don't know. A mitigated FONSI is a finding of no significant impact, which won't be valid unless SpaceX complete some objectives. These objectives include install some road signs to warn pedestrians not to commute on dunes. This is to protect habitats. We also see that SpaceX is liable for all structural damage to property. SpaceX personnel will also have to drive on wet sand to avoid beach damage. And also SpaceX Space Shuttle. No, it's just a park and ride. RIP. Overall, there are about 75 conditions which control some of SpaceX's operations. So how will this affect the orbital launch? Not much. It seems SpaceX recently received notification of these mitigations and already implemented some of those, such as SpaceX Turtle Patrol. This team protects the turtles at Starbase from potential damage or being hurt. The prototypes are still not ready, but we should see those done and out on the pad in the next month or so. Thanks for joining me. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Jack. In other news this week, CivilianSpace creating an astronaut training program led by company executive and former NASA astronaut as another step in developing a crewed version of its dream chaser vehicle, the commercial space station. The company announced on June 14th that it was opening a commercial human spaceflight training centre, an astronaut training academy at its offices at the Kennedy Space Centre. Janet Kavandi, a former NASA astronaut and president of CivilianSpace, will lead the centre. Also this week, efforts continue to fully deploy the Lucy solar array. Leaders of NASA's Lucy asteroid mission are increasingly confident that the mission can continue as planned, even if ongoing efforts to fully deploy and latch a solar array do not succeed. Engineers have been studying for months one of the two circular solar arrays that did not fully deploy and latch into place after the spacecraft's launch in October 2021. They concluded that the lanyard used to pull open the solar array lost tension during the deployment process, causing the lanyard to wrap around the motor shaft. Although not majorly damaging the satellite in any way, hopefully they'll get that fixed real soon. Now, I want you beautiful people to go like this video, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to check out Chat with Rocket Lab and the upcoming Capstone mission. Plus, I'll chat with Kid Petite and his journey from pilot to astronaut with SpaceX. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week.